Hi friends, welcome to the module of ERP software overview and PPT mastery. So this module has two parts. Part 1 is ERP software overview and part 2 is PPT mastery. So let's begin part 1 by understanding what is ERP. Friends, businesses have different departments and functions like finance, HR, sales and marketing, supply chain, and having a different software to manage each and every function is quite difficult and costly. So big companies prefer to have one single software which is centralized so that all these functions will get managed from this single software. And this is what ERP is. So in market currently there are multiple ERPs, like Tally is one ERP which we already studied, SAP is one ERP, and we will try to cover some of this popular ERP. In this module we will focus majorly on finance ERPs or ERPs that manage finance. So we have already covered Tally in detail. So there are 3 modules available for covering Tally, which is ERP and one of the popular one. But in this module we will glance through some other popular ERPs like SAP, Oracle, QuickBooks, Zoho, etc. So let us begin with SAP. Friends, SAP is one of the most popular softwares in the world because it's very comprehensive. We have already learned Tally ERP software in detail. We have 3 modules on it, and in that we have studied how a purchase entry is passed. But do you know, in SAP the purchase entry is passed automatically, but still it is very challenging to learn SAP. You know why? Because big organizations which use SAP software to record any transaction, be it purchase transaction or any other transaction, includes multiple steps. So just to purchase something, there are multiple steps which you have to follow. So in big organization, to purchase anything, first a purchase requisition is prepared. Then this purchase requisition gets approved, and based on this then purchase order is prepared. Then when the goods are received, and another document which is known as goods receipt document is prepared, and finally the invoice comes, and all these documents goes into ERP. So this entering this particular documents in ERP is your work. And after every process a 3-way match happens. So your PO document, your GR document and your invoice get matched with each other, and if there is any discrepancies, then your role as an accountant comes and you have to see what is the discrepancy and you have to resolve it. So this is your role when it comes to recording a purchase transaction. So friends, even though the purchase transaction entry is happening automatically in SAP, as an accountant you have to validate all the details of all the document that we just discussed. You have to handle exceptions, and also you have to create reports. There is one more additional responsibility which you have. So it's to meet the legal compliance regarding this process, the entire process from start to end. So let's have an overview of SAP software. So whenever you log into an SAP software, at the top you will find menu bar. Below that you will find a command bar. Then at this you will find a title bar, and finally you will find an SAP menu. So now suppose if you want to record purchase order, so you will first go to SAP menu, then go to logistics, material management, purchasing, and click on purchase order. Friends, this is a long way of reaching somewhere in SAP. There is also a shortcut available. So you can see the command bar, there are transaction codes available. For example, for recording the purchase order, there is a transaction code which is ME21N. What you have to do, just take this transaction code and enter it into the command bar, and once you press enter, you will directly reach the same screen, which is purchase order creation screen. On this screen you have to first select the vendor name and then press enter. After that you have to add purchasing details. After that you have to add details of purchasing organization, purchasing group, company code, material details, PO, delivery details, etc. Once this is done, you have to print preview and check whether all the details are correct, and finally you have to save this PO and send it to vendor. Friends, this is how a PO is created. In similar way, when you receive goods, if you want to record them, you can use the transaction code MIGO, MIGO, and when the invoice is received, to record it you can use the transaction code MIRO, MIRO. Friends, this is just an overview of SAP to give you a confidence that you can handle SAP. And in the download section, we have uploaded a document which includes list of all the important T codes and their uses. Friends, like this, if you take any other ERP, for example Zoho or Oracle, the base remains same. What changes is just the navigation and process, and there might be some additional steps which you need to do. And this concludes the part 1 of this module, which is having an overview of ERP softwares. Now let's move on to part 2, which is PPT mastery.
Hi friends, now we'll begin the second part of this module, that is PPT mastery. Friends, PPT, which is Microsoft PowerPoint, you will not use regularly, but once in a month. But for certain job profiles like data analyst, it is very important tool. You might be using regularly. And as you grow in your organization or become senior in your job, this tool will be very important for making presentations. So let's begin. We will begin by creating a presentation for PPT course itself. Okay. So first we will start with opening one new presentation. So to open new presentation, you can go to this search and search PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So you will find icon like this and click on it. So there will be multiple options. Either you can use templates. There are, if you click here on more themes, this part, it will give you more options. But currently we'll begin with a blank presentation. Okay, so this is how the Microsoft PPT opens up when you open it for the first time. So here, this is a template slide. And you can see now we have one slide and you can add further slides as well. So you have to click on new slide and then there are certain formats available. For example, this is a blank format. This is title only format. So we are beginning now, so we will be using title only. So as our first slide, you can just drag and also change the sequence of slide. So we will give the title. This is a text box. You can add more text box. And suppose if you want to add more text, just go to insert and click on text box and just press here once and you can start typing part 2. Okay. So like this, you can create a title slide for the PPT. Now, next slide could be the agenda, right? So we'll add new slide. Go to new slide and maybe we will take a title slide. Okay, so we are selecting this slide, which will have, let's say, two boxes. So one above box we will use for writing agenda and we will just go here, like click here and we'll just take it above, and in the below text box we will write the agenda. So first we will cover basics of PPT, then we will have overview of tabs, then we will see tips for making good presentation. Okay, now let's go to basics of PPT, which is part 1 of agenda. So in this part, we will mostly explore the home tab, like how to format and how to add images. So suppose if I want to format this text, which is agenda. So I will first select it. Then I will go to home tab. So here are multiple tabs available. So first tab is home tab, which majorly includes formatting options. So this is already selected. So to select it, just click on the box and just press. So this is for bold, then this is for underline. Now let's say if you want to change the font style, so this is how you can change the font style. If you want to, let's say, make it uppercase, so here from this option you can do it uppercase. Now if you want to change the color of the text, you can choose any color. Okay, so this is how majorly this tab, the home tab, will be used. There are also other options like this is for alignment, align left, so this goes to the left. Now we'll select another box and we'll also align it to the left. We will also change its color, and maybe we will also make it bold. Okay, so this is how our agenda slide is prepared. If you want to, let's say, move this text box somewhere else or collectively move both the text box, so you can just select both the text box and you can just move it, like double click. Once you see the arrow, like right now, if you see the cursor before A here, now it's like an arrow. But as soon as you select any particular box, and you can see it changes to four directions. So you have to press your left button and just move it wherever you want to place it. So this is how we will prepare our agenda slide. Now let's make our next slide. So we will just copy this slide. So to copy this slide, so you have to go to left hand side, click on this particular slide, click right button and just say duplicate slide. You can see the slide got copied. Now the title of this slide would be basics of PPT. And in this basics, as I said, we will also learn how to add an image. So let me just give a background. In this part, we will cover how to add an edit image. Okay, and I will just reduce the size of the text box. So to add image, go to insert. In insert again, there are like multiple options available. You can add shapes, you can add icons, you can add pictures. Let's see. So we will take online pictures now. So let's say we will add a picture of coffee mug. So select a particular image and press enter. So let it get downloaded. Okay, so now, so image is too big. So here you can see the corners. So just as soon as I go to any corner, its shapes changes. So once the shape changes to two arrows, you have to left, you have to press. So once you go to this corner end and the shape of your cursor changes to two arrows, you have to press left key of your mouse and just drag it so that this will get smaller. Okay. If you want to increase its width, so just do it like this. Go here, and if you want to increase it height, just use the circle below. Okay, now let's say if you want to crop it, so you can see your crop option at the top. So just go click here and you can see the border has changed. So you have to just press left button and just this is how you will edit it. There are further options as well. For example, brightness. So you can improve the brightness through this button. You can also change it color, maybe we'll change it to blue, and you can also give border to the picture. And this is how you will use the picture format tab, which actually disappears, but as soon as you click any particular picture, you can see the picture format tab opens up. So this is how you can use the insert tab. So if you want to add a particular text box or a table or a new slide or any particular shape or icon, you can use insert tab here, and you can also edit. For example, I have added a shape here and I will write this is coffee image. So just you can use any title to this particular image. Now let's move on to the other tab, which is draw tab. So this tab you can use majorly to draw something on your slide. Let's say I will just put my sign here. Okay, so this is done. Then in design tab, you can actually design your PPT slide. So we will, let's say, select this slide. Oh, it's not matching. So probably, yeah, this is matching. So we will use this. design tab for changing the designs of your PPT. Now, transition tab is used to add transitions to the slide. For example, we have push. So now if you go to slideshow and press from beginning, so this is how it will, like, if you now see the slide, the transition that you have added, it was push from down. So this is how this will look like. Now let's say if you can also add, there are other transitions as well, like split. So now you can see split, then there is a cut, then there are random bars. So like this is how you can just change from one slide to another. Now the other tab, the next tab, which is animation tab. So this is used to add animation to one particular object. Let's say, suppose you want to add animation to the next tab, which is animation tabs, is used to add animation to a particular object. For example, I want to add animation to this particular image. So you have to first select the image, then you have to select the animation. For example, fly in. And mostly I will give basics of PPT, let's say appear. So this is how you can add the animations. And here you can see number one and number two. Why this came? This means that this will play first and this will play second. So if I again go to slideshow, and this particular slideshow tab is used to majorly start your slideshow. So let's say if you want to, the first option from beginning is to start the slideshow from the first slide. The second option is from current slide, which means if you click here, the animations will start from the current slide. Now you can see image and title are not there because we have already added them animation, and as soon as you press enter, you can see image flying in, and now if you again press enter, you can see the title coming up with the animation. And why image came first? Because you first added animation to the image. So this is how animations and slideshow tabs are used. Record tab is used if you want to record the presentation. Review tab includes certain grammar checking functions which you can use to check grammar on the slide. View tab is where you can select other options. You can select options how you want to view the PPT. And finally, there are some tabs like picture format or shape format, basically, which appears and disappear. Now it's gone, but as soon as you select a particular text box, again you will find shape format. So it has again has multiple formatting options. So friends, this is how you will make a PPT. So now let's come to tips, which is the part 3 of our PPT. We will quickly. Now let's move on to part 3 of the agenda, that is tips for making good presentation. I will quickly add one slide. Maybe I will add a slide with title only. So I will write tips for making good presentation. I will quickly give some formatting to it. Okay. Now I will add a text box so that I can write some tips. So go to insert and click on text box. Tip 1, use consistent font style and color. So friends, while making PPT, it is very important that you are not using more than two or three font styles. So you have to be consistent, and also color. So for example, here you are keeping a blue color, then here you are keeping yellow color, and here you are keeping black color. So this is very inconsistent. So avoid that. Tip number 2 is use color scheme of brand. So friends, if you see any particular brand, maybe the popular banks that we have or the popular smartwatches that we have, or take any particular brand in any industry, so they will be using certain color. For example, ICICI uses majorly orange and dark blue color. Similarly, if your brand has a color, so always try to use them while making your PPT. Now, the last and most important tip is try to use free PPT templates. So, like instead of making the entire template from the scratch, you can also Google and find certain free templates. So, I will quickly show you free PPT templates download, and you can use site, which is quite popular. So friends, this site includes some free and some premium templates that you can use for PPT making. So now we will use a free template. Let's choose one. Maybe we will use, let's say this one. So this is premium. So we will select one which is free. Yeah, so let's use this. So you have to go here and press this download button and download as PowerPoint presentation. So let's give some time for it to download. Yeah, so slide is downloaded. So we will quickly open it. Now you can see the ready-made slides are available. So you have to just click and change. What was our topic? PPT mastery. And then we might use, let's say, fourth slide for agenda. So agenda, and we will also change this. We will put 1, enter 2 and 3 as our agenda items. We don't want this image, so select this image, click on it and press delete. Okay, now, and so you can use any particular slide that you want and you can just delete. How to delete it? Click on the slide, go to left, click on the slide, right click and delete, or you can just select the slide and press delete button. So this is how you can delete. Okay, so friends, this is how you can use the PPT tool. This also brings us to the end of this module. Hope you have enjoyed the module and see you in the next module. Thank you so much.